love it, Jensen. I was not a great hitter, as you might surmise. I hit 222, but made the All-Star team. They told me I needed to ambush more. And for people that don't know what ambushing is, Jensen, can you tell the people, hey, if you're going to throw that heater right off the box, I'm looking to jump it early, right? That's the whole part of an ambush. Look for a pitch. If you get it, we're swinging early.
First pitch, particularly. We call that ambush, first pitch action. So, again, more so it's early in the day, early in the afternoon. Some guys that are notable so far out of the gates for their day game performances here in 2026. Let's start with two guys in Tampa Bay because that'll be a day game that we look at in earnest. The Rays getting pasted by the Reds. Yes, your Central Division leading Cincinnati Reds, but guys that have done well in their day game performances thus far. Yandy Diaz, a 383 average, a homer, and 8 runs driven in. Chandler Simpson, get to know the name, has been one of the dynamic offensive forces for this Rays offense and around the American League, a 340 average with a triple and 2 RBI. The Toronto Blue Jays, on the shoulders of our old friend Patrick Corbin, my old teammate, just continues to find a way to get her done in a beleaguered Blue Jay rotation. Blue Jays get a win yesterday. Vladdy Jr. has been great in the afternoons thus far. 366, couple of doubles, a homer, and 5 driven in. And Taylor Ward of the Baltimore Orioles, 333, 7 doubles, a homer, 9 RBI. We had an over, get home, no sweat yesterday for Baltimore and Kansas City. Dave, I think we go right back to the well there. Let's take the over 9. Minus $1.12 there at Kauffman Stadium. Conditions going to be pretty comfortable. 71 degrees, but winds blowing out to left center at 13 miles an hour. I think we get a little uptick in the runs there. So I'll take the flat 9 over in that Orioles and Royals series finale.
Yeah, and the way the Royals won last night to get rid of that 8-game losing skid. Old Met Ryan Helsley comes on there and walk, wild pitch, and that gets it done. So you get that free run there, 6-5 yesterday, looking for more runs today. Free air conditioning for some of those guys that are going to take to the bump today. What did you find for some notable day games?
All right, so notable team pitching staff performances in day games thus far. I don't think it's going to be a shock to people. The Mariners, the best team ERA in day games so far at 2.35. The Guardians actually not too far behind them at 3.09. Both those clubs will play this afternoon. Mariners will host the Athletics. Guardians will host the Astros. Now, I bring up the Astros because they are the second worst team ERA in day games in Major League Baseball this year, the worst in the American League at 5.81. And I hate to bring up those Royals. Glad they got the win yesterday, Dave, because they have been downright dreadful in the afternoons. 3-9, the most day game losses in Major League Baseball. So I'll go back to the Mariners here. It's a really one-sided in my feel, really one-sided pitching matchup. It's going to be Aaron Savali for the Athletics against Logan Gilbert of the Mariners. I took an alternate over 7. I paid a little juice here, almost minus $1.50 at Hard Rock, but I like the over still in this game. Over 7 in the Athletics and the Mariners game. This is going to be a cooler game to this afternoon, 54 degrees at first pitch, but winds blowing straight out to left at 12 miles an hour. So we'll see if the Seattle offense can start to put it together in support of one of their aces in Logan Gilbert, but I do like an alternate over total today. So over 7, minus $1.49 on Hard Rock for the Athletics and the Mariners.
You know, I bet the A's the last 2 games in Seattle, we've cashed those tickets here, and I just like the way that their lineup, they're pesky. And they're not putting a lot of runs together here, Jensen, but it's solo shot here, and they just kind of beat you by 1,000 cuts. That over today, do you think the A's can uphold their end of the bargain, if you will, here against Gilbert? Because Seattle keeps rolling out these aces, and the A's just keep putting up enough runs to get these W's home.
I would go right to, if you want to play it conservatively, I think you can take the A's on the run line, seeing the cheapest price right around, I think it's $1.35, $1.36.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be a conservative way, but I'm with you. Why not go back to the money line and see if this A's offense continues to create issues for the Mariners pitching staff? Now, again, that's with the caveat, Mariners best day game ERA so far. So you're kind of going strength on strength there, but I'm with you. I think the A's could be live at that point, but the +1.5, not afraid to recommend that to people as well.
Your team without a city, the A's, currently in first place in the AL West. Okay, we got to show this. And look, we get it. Fernando Mendoza is going to have the night of his life, we do believe, tomorrow. Remember, he's not going to be at the draft. He's staying home to be with his family. Well, home is down there in South Beach. Jensen, he threw out the first pitch for the Marlins yesterday. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to need your full evaluation. It is clearly a ball. It's high. It was loopy. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, we got to shuffle the feet. So we already have a balk on the first pitch. Disengagement from the rubber. I do appreciate the short arm action. And trust me, these are not the easiest things to do. And if you realize that, with the arm action for a quarterback and then trying to throw a baseball, it can be a little jarring there. So I appreciate the footwork to make sure he didn't bounce it, because then that could have been an issue all of itself. But I used to tell people that were going out to do that. I said, your target needs to be the head of the player that you're throwing to there behind home plate. So that little box, kind of imagine the umpire's face mask is right there. That's your target. And don't be afraid, kind of in golf, you want the lag on the putt, right? So you can put a little bit of an air under it. You don't need to throw the floater, Henry Rowengartner style. But definitely don't try and air that thing out, because that's where people get the 55 footers. We don't need injuries from the backups that are trying to catch those first pitches. But as I said, first pick greater than first pitch. That's our headline for Fernando Mendoza. He will definitely be in a better spot tomorrow night when his name gets called first overall.
He's minus 20,000. So again, you got to put up 20 grand to win 100. To be the first overall
great
pick
parlay
tomorrow.
Piece.
Doesn't mean that's
great parlay piece.
Right. Now, do you think the Raiders are rethinking that position after looking at that first pitch going, oh no, what type of bill of goods are we getting? Hey, look, if you're watching this on FanDuel Sports Network, okay, and you see the little crow hop that he does that show you that maybe he had some baseball in his past? So it was like an old outfielder kind of crow hopping his way to get the ball off the rubber, or is this a guy that's just never towed the rubber before?
Oh, I'm sure there's some nerves. There had to be nerves out there amongst the 6,321 people there at Marlins Park. I think that's the one thing you worry about is he's so not used to being planted. He's used to kind of having that little bounce, the little nimbleness in the pocket there. So I that's the first thing I took away is he's just finding the quick slant over the middle. No big deal. I'm going to pop it. Yeah, I liked it. So in all seriousness though, congrats to him. Very excited for him and his family. And it was a debate for me on my second stock up, guys that stay home for the draft. We have a special place here in Cleveland because Joe Thomas, arguably one of the greatest first rounders ever in Cleveland Browns history, he was out fishing. And he was like, hey, whenever my name's called, no big deal. And I appreciate him wanting to share that time. It is such a chaotic time as someone who, got drafted twice, once out of high school, once out of college. There's nothing like being home with loved ones and being able to be in your element, because there is so much, Dave, that goes into that day. There's so many media responsibilities, especially as a top pick. There are so many different things you have to do. And I think that's the sweet spot, especially for a guy who really embodies not only the professionalism, but the charisma and the character. You're getting a great player, but you're getting what we believe is an even better person. I am just waiting now, Dave, that we have Kirk Cousins there in Las Vegas. Are we going to get a Coles ad, for both of those guys, getting in the same draft? Are they going to come in at the same outfits, to camp and all that? Either way, what a night it's going to be for Vegas and for Fernando Mendoza.
I mean, look, I loved my time in Sin City. I do not expect to see Mendoza and Cousins maybe at some of the haunts that you could have seen others at. Let's just leave it at that out there in Las Vegas with these two. That's going to be a very interesting watch.
Craving the coffee flavor you love, but without the caffeine? Kachava's got you covered with their newest coffee flavor. This all-in-one nutrition shake delivers bold, authentic flavor crafted from premium decaffeinated Brazilian beans with 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, and so much more. Treat yourself to the flavor and nutrition your body craves. Go to kachava.com and use code NEWS. New customers get 15% off their first order. That's KACHAVA.com, code NEWS.